Dear Diary, so it's 11:58 p.m., which gonna soon get into 12 a.m. It's Thursday, 26th of September, but technically we could just call it Friday, 27th of September, and it's 27 degrees outside. Well, I don't think there's anything much to be said about how today went, aside of me sleeping very late and having to. I'm probably going to be uploading lots of remixes on the motherfucking, mega folder. Because at this point, yeah, I guess it will be just much easier. Although getting the ones that I've already made from way long ago and all the way to what's nowadays is gonna be quite a pain in the ass. So I probably just don't need to give a fuck about it. Meanwhile, I've been playing through quite a lot of World Tour, although I haven't reached the required stage, never reached the required chapter, nor I have got Ryu yet. Although, I'm not gonna lie, it is as decent as it goes. But then again, I haven't been playing fighting games from like way long time, It's been like 8 months or 6 months or so ever since I have even gotten myself interested into playing fighting games. At least with stuff like motherfucking Street Fighter 6 and its Crazy World Tour. Like at first when I've seen Street Fighter 6, I was like, okay, new franchise, cool, next game. Like seriously, I gave zero fucks to that. But then the gameplay trailer showed up with that World Tour thing, and I was like, okay, what? What the hell is going on? Tell me this isn't a kind of a joke. But nope. They actually did it. They brought the first ever single player based game in the entire Street Fighter franchise. The first ever fighting game to have a character creation that is very detailed, and not to mention an open world that is quite crazy enough, with tons of references and nods to motherfucking Final Fight more than anything, and tons of interactivity options. At least some interactivity options. And I was pretty excited for that mode back in the day, like finally a reason to play a fighting game. And it literally sweeps the floor with motherfucking Tekken 8 and KOF 15 with all of their incoming DLCs. Seriously, it's way much better. Like, sure, there is the story mode for motherfucking Tekken 8, and it's millions of hours of dialogue for most of the time, and the watch of the literal story mode movie, like the story mode for Guilty Gear Xrd, and then it goes all the way to Strive, was actually quite a surprise. Like, You don't play any part of it. You just watch the story. You literally just watch the story. You don't control it. Literally. The only thing that you can control is literally stopping the movie for like whatever time. And well, it is at the part that you stop it. But literally, it's a fucking movie. Which I'll give it credit. It's a little bit quite nice. A little bit quite nice. Like they kind of knew that their story would be a little bit fucked up. But then this kind of like, okay, so we're gonna make the story an actual movie. So that people out there who have video game stories are not real movies. So you can literally watch the story that we give. And literally, and if you want to know about the story, you can play the arcade mode. It kind of looks like first. But in any case, World Tour used to be quite the only thing that's high about Street Fighter. Otherwise, well, it wasn't really that much. Eventually, after I played it and finished through it and everything, yeah, the manga just wasn't that fun. But in any case, I just decided to go through most of it with lots of side quests, main story quests, maybe a little bit of grinding there. You know, spending quite a lot of my skill points. I'm at like chapter 5 or some shit. I can't even remember. But overall, it's still as decent as it gets. It would have been quite fun if, it would have been quite fun if, the terrorists like really early before I do any of it. Like it would have been really funny as hell. Meanwhile, with good old and this was going on for like quite a while. And I think I'm probably gonna give Final Fantasy 15 a break. You know? So yeah. Meanwhile, I don't feel like how it went. You know? Nothing too stupid or anything was going on. Although, parts of our relatives are coming over again. Like, geez, didn't they have enough? Like, didn't they have enough time for fucking oneness? So, technically, the moment's been quite wasted. Although, I think yesterday, probably yesterday, like quite enough distractions that would be enough for me to almost forget about all of what has been quite worrying me. But I still can't help but feel. I still can't help but still feel quite worried and quite nervous. And well, again, I still need at least like a month to be able to be prepared enough for that kind of college year, you know. It's really, really not gonna be any better, you know. And get this, like we have, like I know almost every day except for motherfucking Tuesday is quite a decent day, but I don't know, man. I'm still not ready to get into this kind of education, you know? Like having to literally study like ridiculously long stuff and readings and trying to paraphrase in my own words, and then assignments in the middle that would, you know, require me to do things as such. It's just, I'm not ready. Like, I'm really not ready at all for that kind of thing. Like, I still think that my life is quite fucked up, you know. Although, I really hope that I'll be prepared enough to at least tackle through the next week without literally having my focus completely destroyed or whatsoever, you know. Like, I just want to lay down with my PS4 or PS5 and with my laptop and my phone and with internet on, and that's it, literally. Like, I can't, I just can't, you know, imagine myself getting to be a part of that. I don't know. Like, education fucking sucks, you know. It did more harm than any good, you know. Like, if you would think that any of that is gonna be like any normal, well, no. It's just not normal. And you would think that it would, you know, that it would be much easier and whatsoever. I don't know. Now I'm just rambling out of my ass. But am I okay right now? However, the question is, am I okay? Well, that's quite debatable. Like, I'm more distracted than anything, you know? Like, I'm feeling distracted more than anything. Especially thanks to the things that I have been doing, starting from, you know, good old getting some of those old games, starting from good old Sonic Heroes, and then getting Sonic Adventure DX and modding the absolute shit out of them. And eventually, and of course at first, was Sonic Mega Collection Plus. And I gotta be honest, That game is probably like a pretty decent memory lane, you know? Like hopefully hopefully those next 2 days would be enough for me to be prepared for what is meant to be an absolute shit show of a week, you know? And hopefully I can be wrong. Hopefully they aren't gonna be as much shit shows as they can be. And and eventually I would be able to be on the level where I can write in a freaking academic way and be able to get that crazy mindset on being able to sit down for a lot of hours just to be able to complete an assignment before its deadline by many, many miles, you know. And then comes all the fucking citations and resource gathering bullshit and the dictionary, like, good God. Like, honestly, and again, it isn't even the faculty's fault, you know? It isn't, as a matter of fact, it isn't the fault of any kind of faculty or university. Like, if I was normal, I would have eventually gotten used to what is happening out there. At least from the start. However, like, I'm a guy who literally used to be at a decent school and then later on have been forced to move to a place that it can't even be called a school. It's a fucking miserable pile of piece of shit. And eventually had to go into a university that is close enough to be fucking stupid, you know? It can't even be called a university. So, going from that to this, to the university, to the faculties and what the fuck they did to me, and all the shit shows that I used to go through before high school, and then after it, then 4 years in fucking my old university, like, sweet mother of God. Then getting dragged into the mental health into the mix and experience, and then immediately preparing our asses to travel into motherfucking Saudi Arabia, and then all the way to when that goddamn news showed up. Like, put all of that together, absolute chaos, and not in a good way, you know. Like, I literally missed a time where I was bored, you know, like having boring times were way, way, way much better than what I'm dealing with, you know. Well, there's a bottom line to bring the bottom line. Am I doing okay? Well, that's debatable. I'm feeling distracted, like as if like lots of things are in my mind are distracting me. But then, overall, like, I'm still not okay by any means. But it is debatable. You know, it is quite debatable if I'm gonna ever get used to this kind of situation where
where after like a few days or so, I'm gonna be forced to be alone with my uncle, and I don't even know how to fucking properly cook. So at this point, might have to live our lives on the fast food and the delivery stuff. But then, if we want some actual grocery stuff, how are we going to get the money for that? How are we going to pay for whatever fucking shit show of an electric bill is gonna come up, or how much we're gonna have to pay for the goddamn gas, and then the water bottles. How are we gonna pay for them whenever they're empty, and so on? And you know what's even worse? Like, this thing is gonna be happening for like 4 years. Like 4 years of my life alone. Which is absolutely fucking unacceptable. Not ready for it at all. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be stressed and scared more than comfortable or anything. Like, damn. It really, really fucking sucks. So, yeah. Seriously. And all hoping that eventually things would actually be alright. Yeah. Like I said back in the day, I really never had this kind of thing before. This is supposed to be a new experience in a good way. But in reality, it's a pile of goat shit that raises more tension than anything. I guess I'm still a child, you know? I guess I'm still a baby who can't live on like that alone. Then add this university and its British system and all of this kind of stuff. Yeah. I've pretty much like fucked up my life, you know? I've pretty much like fucked up my life in its entirety. Like, it was supposed to be the right choice, but no. And it was probably the wrongest choice that I could have ever chosen. It all comes to one conclusion, that I just can't be in a university or a school anymore, you know? No more. Like, really, no more. Some people will say, just quit it. I can't quit. I'm forced to stay in there. I'm forced to literally continue on with the fucking college. 'Cause it's because of the army, you know? Like, you finish your education, you're gonna have to be enrolling yourself in the army for at least 1 year. If you leave it now, if you leave it at almost any point, if you leave education at any point, you're gonna be forced to literally get enrolled into it from by the number of times, by the number of, in other words, you'll be enrolled in it for a much longer time. It goes without saying, but yeah, it is as ridiculous as it gets. Like the fact that we even have to go through at least a 1-year army after we finish education alone is pretty fucked up. And the fact that we even have to go through education just to put some just to put some skills and whatsoever inside a fucking piece of paper, a piece of fucking electronic paper that has our names, our occupation and everything, so that we can just send it to companies to employ you. How about we don't fucking send papers in the first place? How about we literally don't send anything? How about we just go into their fucking doorstep and apply to the goddamn job by ourselves at any point, any time, for anyone? Seriously. All this suffering and bullshit just to fill in a goddamn document so that you can send it to a company? What a shitload of fuck. But yeah, I feel like I've been repeating myself in these past few times. But then again, at this point, my life has been nothing but a really, really shitty cycle of mistakes and stupidities, you know? Like, you would once, it used to be just a normal life with normal things, and, well, I used to have at least one friend with me that I would go with, hang out with, and come over to, and talk to. Like, we would be having lots of goddamn fun. But then got forced to move and got forced to literally be in an environment that isn't even a human environment. You know? It is a pile of shit, at any case. Look, I've been doing nothing but repeating almost the same mistakes that I've been always doing in my entire life. Like, is it ever gonna turn into something much better? Well, no. It just won't. Like, I literally failed at the French department because I thought that I was gonna be doing good, and I thought that the fucking assholes who got me the course would, tell me that there is a course incoming and whatsoever. But then no. They told me nothing. No jack shit at all. Then came in the fucking history department. I thought I would be doing much more decent enough. But then, no. And nowadays I just realize I am not a student type of guy anymore. I'm not fit to be a student anymore. I'm just fit to literally sit down and just do nothing. But either play video games, or watch stuff, or just do nothing. Like, literally, just a goddamn livestock. But yeah, I really hope that at least those 2 days would have me, well, prepared enough for next week and its shenanigans. And hopefully, well, I would, and hopefully I would be able to focus. Hopefully I would be able to take notes on whatsoever, and hopefully it would be and hopefully I would be able to get through, at least in the time where my mom and the remains of my family are in here, you know? Because literally when my sister leaves and when my mom and that fat shit would leave, and my uncle would be here, I gotta say, it's gonna fucking suck, you know? Like, it's gonna fucking suck, and it's probably gonna put me back right into square one, you know? Because, once again, combine all of this together, I don't want to do anything at all. Like, I just can't help it anymore. Just can't help but admit that I'm still a child that just cannot grow up. I pretty much just can't grow up at this point. And honestly, I don't think that growing up would ever make us better, you know? Because when we were children, life used to be simple, good, and much more decent. Then as we progressed, it becomes more fucking shit. There's a point where the only thing that you would really need in your life is to have absolute, you know, absolute clarity and absolute, like, serenity and, you know, calm in your life without any more fucking troubles. Even the slightest inconveniences are gonna be considered trouble at this point. The bottom line, am I doing okay? Again, it's debatable. Because I've been feeling much more distracted than anything. But in hope and goodwill that it all becomes clear and all, you know, gets to be better and to be much, well, quite easier at this point. Cause really, like I said before, I do not want to be a student anymore. I just want to be an employee. Anywhere. You know, I just want to be an employee. Just anywhere. Like, if I'm gonna take out of this kind of job in at least fucking 500 pounds or 300 pounds or whatever, then I'll take it. I'll literally take it. Just let me work. Like, working for money is the only thing that is fucking meaningful Not going to some fucking college or school just just to either get bullied or to have the most shittiest goddamn subjects in your life. And then you get back in there and then your parents berate you and make you feel much worse. And a cycle would be going on, you know? Education is nothing but the absolute bullshit. It is fine as long as it's in primary school and kindergarten. But beyond that, fuck that. There's no need for that. But yeah. Hopefully it all gets fixed and all gets to be decent, and who knows? Eventually I would actually be able to understand and be able to, focus a bit more. And eventually I would I'll have the ability to complete an assignment before it's time, or an assessment before it's time. And finally, I would be able to complete a motherfucking exam in a decent way. And at least be able to make sure that the group isn't a fucking laughing stock as a goddamn group presentation. Because apparently there are stuff called group presentations. What kind of form? We will be told about it fucking later. Yeah. Just want to stay at home, sleep, relax, play video games, listen to songs, watch anime. Just want to do anything but to be a student. Yes, that's unfortunately how my mind has become, Like throughout the years, my life was like basically something sharp has hit the balloon. And then that balloon is literally like getting its air out and shrinking so hard until it becomes its original form. Yeah, that's exactly how my mind has become. Well, hopefully it all gets fixed. Because otherwise, I'm completely fucked. Being okay or not is quite debatable. But my mind feels distracted. Hopefully, it all gets fixed. Because, yeah, being an adult turned out to suck ass much more than it benefits. Well, if you're listening to this far, then I deeply thank you. And hope and goodwill that we meet in another time where it's a positive time. Until then, farewell.